indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First call to the public. I don't really see any public, so we will move along to our treasurer's monthly report. Julie.
Okay, hello everybody. Right now, summer tax collection started up the 1st of July. We collect for Shiawassee Township, so our traffic is picking up. I think we must have had at least 50 or 60 pieces of mail coming in, so they're coming, taxes are coming right in nice and quick, so that's all good. I put in front of each of you a list of the foreclosed properties this year. There were 19 of them, mostly vacant lots, not anything really exciting, or a couple houses though that could be nice, nice flips, nice properties possibly. And that sale will be August 7th. So that will be coming up before our next commissioners meeting week. Friday, August 7th, they take place on tax-sale.info. So if you want to look at the properties, you can go to tax-sale.info and you can search Shiawassee. You can search any of the counties you might want to just have fun looking at. But you can see the properties and their description and what their minimum bids would be. Also, I guess the only thing else I have coming up is Treasurers Conference is in Bay City that week of August, same as your meetings next month. So I will miss next month's meeting. I'll be in Bay City at conference.
Can't they do it in like Traverse City or something?
Bay City this year, which I'm looking forward to. I haven't been to Bay City in ages, and it's not that far away. I don't know why, but I'm looking forward to Bay City.
I'm trying to think if I've ever been there.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I have, so should be nice. Yeah,
So
that's August 9th, Sunday the 9th through Wednesday the 12th.
okay. So like you said, it looks like just a couple of very few.
Yeah,
actual.
that Bath Road property looks like a nice house. It looks well kept, and but other than that, the other properties are not a whole lot going on there. But you can check them out online.
Well, it's nice that in a county, county-wide, that really people aren't being foreclosed on using their homes.
There's 3 Leisure Lake properties, so there are things there. Yes.
That's not a year-round though, is it?
No, it's not.
So
no, not year-round.
Okay.
But mostly vacant properties, so hoping if
Yeah,
they don't sell that
that's a nice lake though.
Leisure Lake is, yeah, that's a nice little spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We was out there years ago. You take the boat out there.
Well, a couple, 3 places here.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I think we water skied on it even. So
do they even water ski?
yeah. We did. It was a short rope,
Yeah.
No, it's good size.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that.
I didn't think they had that they would allow that faster boats, I guess, and stuff going on it.
Wow.
But I don't know.
Well,
it was just my thinking.
It was old boats and a smaller, we didn't go that fast. We only had a 30 horsepower motor in it.
All right, anything else for Julie?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So for our first agenda item, I would look for a motion to adopt the 2025 audit and place it on file.
So moved. Support.
Moved and supported.
So you're gonna have the audit presentation right towards the top of the agenda on Wednesday. Our guest will be coming from the UP to do his presentation, so we'd like to get him in and out and back on the road so he can go home. But we have a unqualified opinion, which means it's a clean audit without any findings, and I think we're in a pretty strong position. But you'll get more on that on Wednesday. Plus, it was filed on time and everything ready to go. Just the presentation is happening after the fact. Schedule it.
Yep, I am looking forward to it. All right, anything on the audit? We'll save it for Wednesday. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And you will see that again. Recycling presentation.
So just a couple of words here before we turn it over to Phil Evelyn. As three of you know, because you serve on the Health and Wellness Board, Health and Wellness is changing how they do their recycling program, where they pick up the paper, the cardboard, and different things like that, because of changes in federal requirements. As such, they can't have the program the same way that they had it. They're going to a fee-for-service model to collect the paper for their program that they have. So we are going to continue to participate in that program, but for us, for the rest of the year, it's with 2 stops a month for the county to participate is $1,200, which overall is cheaper than adding additional dumpsters. So we're going to continue to support the program. And Phil Hevelin, and because it's below my spending limit, I'm going to approve it. But I wanted Phil Hevelin from Shiawassee Health and Wellness to present to you a little bit about the program to just kind of increase awareness. This agenda item will not advance beyond today to the Wednesday agenda.
Okay, I'm Phil Helwin, I appreciate your time. A little bit of background, I know several of you are aware, but for those of you who aren't really terribly familiar with, I'll try to give you the layman's Reader's Digest condensed version. Funding for a lot of the services that we have at Shiawassee Health and Wellness, which is our mental health facility, was changed a few years ago, and it's taken a while to implement the changes. The gist of it is, the intent was to eliminate conflicts of interest between entities or within an entity that was Medicaid funded. And it's a program called Conflict Free, fairly simple. The idea is that if an agency such as us does an assessment of an individual and determines they need X, Y, Z for service, we can't then provide that service to them. Why does that impact recycling? Our recycling program was an employment skill building program for the developmentally disabled. The intent the DJ Root started the program with was to take those who were not as advantaged as some and to mentor them and encourage them and teach them how to work in a workforce situation. All those skills that we take for granted, showing up on time, actually doing work according to directives, waiting on customers, getting along with other people, things of that sort. And we've done so successfully for a number of years. And we forestalled the inevitable that we knew that that would, with this new concept, would change. We knew it was going to happen, and we were trying to find ways around. The reality is that works, that program, Conflict Free, works well in a perfect scenario. That is, if you are in a population with a lot of resources, Ingham County, Genesee County, whichever, where you have a lot of density of population and therefore a lot of service providers that are able to make a living at a given wage in those areas, you could provide services and put them up for bid, or you can recommend services and put them up for bid. Shiawassee County, as you know, we're a little bit of a smaller community. So to expect that we can solicit highly skilled service providers with the proper credentialing and licensing and insurance to compete at the level that we can afford when they really can make all the money they want in Genesee or Ingham County or whatever is a stretch. And frankly, we've been challenged to find even one service provider that was willing to contract with us to take over those services. We do have one. They're still kind of getting their feet wet. They're trying to get things up and running. But backing up a little bit, on its best day, when we were running employment skill building like crazy, we would make enough money off the actual recycled material, selling the bales of cardboard, selling the bales of shredded paper on the market through a broker. We could cover our overhead, meaning lights and gas, all the hard stuff, except for staffing. But staffing was covered through Medicaid because we were the service providers who were mentoring and putting in billable hours to get the money back from Medicaid to run the people part of it. We don't get that anymore. So at the end of 2025, the board had to lay it off. pretty much everybody in employment skill building. They retained a couple of ladies who are on the verge of retirement to try to get them to the retirement and help us segue through into the new iteration of whatever DJ route is going to be. They held on to the manager of the recycling center, John. They slid him from employment skill building under me as the facilities manager. Kind of an artificial contrivance, but it works. And they also held on to the lady who used to run employment skill building because she has other skills that are useful in other departments. And they've held her as a way to kind of monitor this new contractual environment and make sure that, for instance, the recording and the billables are being done properly and according to law and code, and so that we don't get in trouble for it. It's been challenging. Push come to shove, we're to a point now that we've got to put the finger in the dike. We've got to stop the hemorrhaging of the amount of money that we're spending on the staffing portion. We aren't making nearly as many bales as we used to because we have a fraction of the people in-house, not only going out to get the materials, but also then to process them in-house. So I know we're not covering overhead anymore. And I know that we are in no way touching the staffing part. It was made very clear to us we need to come up with another way to make some sort of income. I'll be honest, we couldn't find something out there in the rest of the world that was uniform enough that we could plagiarize. we did a lot of research. We kind of got a good feel for what you could charge, remembering, of course, that we're in Shiawassee County. Okay, we have to be realistic. So we put together a schedule of fees, basically, for our services, basing everything pretty much on a curb cart. So either half a curb cart or a fraction of the curb cart, such as a tote, or multiples of a curb cart, using that just as a standard unit of measure. And we also, to try to encourage the customer to accumulate as much as they could in-house before we had to make a trip out and get that material, we actually also tacked on a fuel surcharge within Shiawassee and Corunna, because that's where we are, of course. It was $5, I believe, and it was $10 for out county, but within the county, per trip. We put that before Dr. Boggs, and after some discussion with he and Greg, I think they've determined that they are going to try to take the forefront and set an example and try to encourage others to say, okay, let's try it. Let's give it a try. Because this is all this is. We're hoping it works, but it's a tall order. And as my boss Ryan said, let's throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. So my appreciation to Dr. Boggs and to Greg for their support. And we would like to serve you in the distant future. We don't know how this is going to work, but it's the only chance we have. I'd be happy to field any questions.
And I think what's also very important is they do secure shredding so that it is, so at their competitors are at about $75 a bin. This is $25 a bin. It's a third of the price, and we get a destruction letter for anything that needs to be securely destroyed, and we have to have a record of it, which I think is highly advantageous to us.
So $1,200 for the rest of the year is not outrageous.
And we're keeping it all in the family.
1,200 for the rest of the year now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be 2,400 next year.
So that ends our secure, so you have separate secure shredder from other paper.
If that's how they set it up.
We actually, any paper that needs to be shredded, if you put it into one of the locked bins, we'll process it from you as if it's secure. It needs to be secure. Because we understand that most of your departments are handling, in our world, we have PHI. So we understand that there are legal documents or things that might cite information that's privileged. So everything that's coming from you, we will have in a locked container here. We'll take it back in a locked container. It will be processed as if it needs to be secure.
So we don't have to separate.
You do not have to separate.
Oh.
Put all the paper in one. Yeah, we don't want you to have to go through that tedium. At the end of the day, we're gonna shred most of it anyway. So it'll be treated within the secure facility as if it's secure, the whole batch.
And it's no change from what we're already doing. It's the same thing, we're just continuing on, so they're from free to the fee for service model.
All right,
Very good.
any questions for Phil? I think that was a good overview, and if it's cheaper than a dumpster, then I'll see.
And if it helps, you can feel good about it. It's going to a cause and not to a landfill.
Right.
So I have a question, when.
For you, it costs extra.
When, it comes time for me to shred the unused balance from 2024,
We do a purge.
do I call and just say?
Absolutely, set up a John, and he'll come out with as many as you think you're going to need, and we'll just do a purge for you. There'll be the one fuel surcharge for the trip, but other than that, it's within the pricing that's quoted to Dr. Buck.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yep, so just take advantage of it, use it well.
Please, we keep our people busy, so thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If there's nothing further on that, then we'll proceed to our next agenda item.
We gotta make a resolution on it or do
You don't have
anything?
to do anything, it's under my spending limit, so I just approved it.
Oh, okay, I know you said that, but I didn't know if we had to,
No, no action.
okay.
I just wanna have everyone on the same page, know about it, maybe people will hear about it, take
Yeah,
advantage of the
okay.
service.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, I would look for a motion to approve resolution number 260713, submitting to a vote of the electorate a millage proposition for senior citizen services.
So move.
Or,
Moved and supported.
so this is a millage renewal, so originally when this was placed on the ballot, it was at 0.5 mils. Due to Headley, it's rolled back from 0.5 to 0.492. And so it is a renewal as long as we stay at that rate. If you go up and take it up those few hundredths, it becomes no longer a renewal but a new millage. So we've opted to keep it at the renewal amount, which about $10,000 difference, it's inconsequential in the long run. It will generate approximately $1.37 million for senior citizens operations. Now it's important to note this. We contract with the Shiawassee Council on Aging, but that money is not directly goes to them, it is through a contract with them. So the millage is for senior services, and then we contract with them to provide those services. So this is just a renewal, it's their time for it to be up again. Several of you who have been here for a while remember that some of these millages were on odd years. And we are doing our best to make sure that we get away from any odd year millages because we don't want to pay for that. And so these now have all moved to even years with this one. So we piggyback on other things that are already happening.
Is this on an election coming up or in November?
November.
No, okay, that's what I thought.
But I appreciate that distinction because it is a senior services millage that then we turn around and contract with SCOA, not a millage for.
Correct.
So, do we have any others like that? Cause veteran services we do here, so.
Yeah, the veterans are ourselves, and MSU has a special carve out for their own language in state statute that allows for it. But they're also technically a government instrumentality of the state of Michigan, so they're a different class altogether. So we have 4 millages: so veterans, MSU, the senior millage, and 911. And so the other ones are all
No, not
not
911.
911. Pleasant View. Those are all government sponsored activities
Yeah, so really this is the only one then
that is set up that way.
that way. All right, any further questions on that from anybody?
Just it'll end in 2030.
Correct. So then it'll be on again in 2030, so which will be an even year election cycle.
Alrighty, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that passes to Wednesday. I would look for a motion to approve the contract with SRESD for technology support for 2 years at $122,055 and authorize the board chair to execute the same.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported.
So we have a couple of contracts with them. You'll see one tomorrow related to the health department. But this is technology services. It has been the same price for the last 4 years at $118,000. They raised it 3% to $122,000. It's still a very good deal for the services that we give for, instead of having to employ staff to do our technology.
Yeah, wondered it didn't raise it more than that with everything going on.
That's a modest increase.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and as a person that has occasionally has to call them, they are always excellent. And, you know, I don't ever hear any complaints.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
No brainer.
They get put under some pressure
Yeah.
from the county.
yes, they do. All right, anything further on that technology contract? All those in favor of moving this forward signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that passes. I would look for a motion to adopt the proposed CDBG policies for conflict of interest, complaint, fraud prevention, and fair housing only for the use and administration of the CDGB infrastructure grant for Creek Point.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported.
So as we continue to work on this project, there are a series of policies. There'll probably be a few more for you to adopt in the months coming. And the land bank has these two for their grant, but they're policies that we have to adopt to align with the federal spending requirements, and they only apply to this grant, to this work and nothing else. But we do have to match the federal requirements to get the money.
All right, seems pretty straightforward. Any questions?
These were drafted by Sarah and myself, so
Gonna see something similar in the future, probably.
we'll see more.
Yep. Okay.
All right, sounds good. All those in favor of moving this forward signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That passes, which brings us to our second call to the public. Anything else, Bill? For the good of the order? No? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Yes.
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday first.
Good save.
Hey, I left out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, $22.
Wait, I don't think that really.
Thank you, Tyler. Getting in practice.
I am preparing.
Yeah.
Ready to rock and roll?
Ready? All right. Let's call this meeting to order. Please stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to our first call to the public for the Economic and Physical Development Committee meeting. Hearing none, Mr. Pete Preston, if you would bring us the community development report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had 19 zoning permits and 25 building permits, 4 new housing starts. We again are very slow for this time of the year. We usually start with a little fall bump in August and September, but again, it has been slow in our office. That being said, you do not have a monthly enforcement report that's full because we are working with BSNA and building the system back up for our reporting. So we essentially got rid of and are rebuilding. So we kept these two. We thought we kept 3 reports. We kept these 2 reports, but you're going to start seeing a little bit different format and more information filled in, especially on code enforcement. We're going to go back to our priorities now that we've kind of set the junk and debris aside and we're revitalizing some of the older ones that involved, use and occupancy and stuff. So bringing those up, we'll be bringing those up nicely since it's been a minute, and then we'll go through it after that. But that's all I have regarding that. The ZBA will have a special meeting on July 22nd, and then plan on the planning commission meeting at the end of July with some revisions from the zoning ordinance as discussed. So I'm happy to answer anything else you may have. Okay.
Thank you. All right, that moves us to our agenda items. I'll look for a motion to approve the appointment of Adam Lawrence to the zoning board of appeals.
I'll make the motion.
Support. Support.
Support.
All right, discussion.
So we have an opening. Adam Lawrence is a resident of Bennington Township. He is, grew up in the Byron area. Young man is a staffer for Senator, Roger Hauk, the 34th district. Interested in being involved, and I think he'd be a good fit on the ZBA.
All right. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of moving this to Wednesday, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that moves on to Wednesday. Next, I would look for a motion to approve the contract between FLB Collective and Shiawassee County for TPA services for administration of the county housing rehab program.
I'll make the support.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Motion with support, so discussion.
So this program is kind of administered in Pete's office, but there has been a TPA for several years that oversaw this program. However, the last 2 years, there has not been a third-party administrator overseeing the program. It's an old program. You see it mostly when you discharge those mortgages and those liens that have come before you. So we haven't used any of this in a while, but there is a housing board that will be reappointed in the coming months. And there's $372,000 of homeowner rehab money that's available. The land bank also has a amount of homeowner rehab money and rental rehab money. So we're going to find a way to coordinate all of this together in the next coming months. And so by appointing FLB Collective, they'll be the TPA for this money, but they're also the TPA for the land bank money. It'll be removed from Pete's oversight, and I will oversee the program along with the implementation from the land bank so that we can coordinate it all together and make it as beneficial to the community as possible. Pete, do you want to say anything about the woohoo? He's not getting out of it that easily. He's going to attend some of the meetings with me as we restart this board.
Unfortunately, when the CDBG money was taken away and it was kind of a self-funding, it became very difficult to reach out to clients. COVID did not help either, and that so it's good that this money is going to be well spent and possibly more directed than it's ever been in the past.
Okay. All right, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of moving it on to Wednesday, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, that'll move on to Wednesday. That brings us to our final call to the public. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.